Hi class, this is section 1.3 Distance and Midpoint. This goes along with standard 2. Our two objectives will be to find the distance between 2 points in the coordinate plane, and the other one is finding the midpoint of a segment in the coordinate plane. In this video, we are actually not going to use the coordinate plane. We are going to cover the level 2 material, which is just going to be on a number line. So first, let's find the distance between 2 points on a number line. Distance is always positive. So notice how this number line goes from negative to positive. Our answers can only be positive because distance is a positive number between the length between two things. So we're going to find the distance between each pair of points. To do this, you can do the math to see how to get from A to D, or you can simply just count the spaces. So for example, doing the math, to go from -7 to -2, you would add 5. So 5 would be the distance. Or you can simply just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get the distance. From E to C, we're going from 2 to -4. That would be subtracting 6, but distance is always positive, so our answer would be a positive 6. Or again, you can just count the distance between the 2 points. To go from B to F, we're going from -6 to 5. So we're going to move 6 spaces to 0, then another 5 spaces to 5, and that would be 11. And then from E to F, that's going to be 3 spaces. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Use the number line to find the length of AX. Your answer should be 8. They are 8 spaces apart. Now let's talk about how to find the midpoint between 2 points. The midpoint is exactly what it sounds like. It's the middle point between the 2 points. So here again we have a number line, and we're going to find the midpoint between each pair of points. So the first thing you need to do is find the distance between the 2 points, then cut that in half, and that's where your midpoint will be. So B and D, here's B and here's D. They are 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces apart. That means the midpoint is going to be 2 spaces from either end point. So 2 spaces from B would be 1, 2, and you could write down that your answer is point C or that your answer is -4. Alright, from E to D, here's E, here's D. They are 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces apart. So that means we're going to move 2 spaces from either end point to get our answer. That's going to be our midpoint. So our answer is going to be 0. If we move 2 spaces from D, we would get to 0. If we move 2 spaces from E, we would get to 0. This is the middle point between these 2 points. And the last one is C and F. Here's C, here's F. C and F are 9 spaces apart. If you divide 9 by 2, you would get 4.5. So if we counted over from C, 4.5 spaces, 4 spaces would take us to 0, and then a 0.5 space would take us to 0.5. You could do the same thing coming from F. If we moved this way 4 spaces, we'd end up at 1, and then another 0.5, we'd end up at 0.5. Last problem. What is the measure of AC if B is the midpoint of AC? So, if something is the midpoint, then that means it's cutting this line segment exactly in half. So, if BC is 2A minus 1, then that means that AB is also going to be 2A minus 1. So we're actually going to use segment addition to figure out what the measure of AC is. First we have to find A, we have to find our variable, then we can find what AC is. So I know that AB plus BC is going to equal AC. I also know that AB and BC are equal because B is a midpoint. So we're going to have 2A minus 1 plus 2A minus 1 is equal to 3A plus 1. I combine my like terms on the left-hand side to get 4A minus 2 is equal to 3A plus 1. I subtract 3A and add 2. I subtracted over 3A this way, added 2 this way, and I got 1A is equal to 3, which means that A is equal to 3. So 3 is not our answer though. It says, what is the measure of AC if B is the midpoint of AC? We're looking for the measure of AC. So we're going to plug 3 back in, and 3 times 3 plus 1 is going to equal 10. So the correct answer is D. That's all for this video. See you guys in class.